Both dominance and change are not unfamiliar concepts in the Formula One world. Red Bull has been a dominant force on the track this season, an occurrence that has come to be seen as relatively typical in the sport. However, given the dynamic nature of Formula One, change is unavoidable. As the 2026 season approaches, major changes are in store. This video examines the upcoming 2026 regulations and delves into the complex web of past Formula One rule revisions. Let's explore the transformative 2026 engine regulations. The implementation of new engine restrictions in 2026 stands out as a crucial moment among the upcoming changes. These regulations are anticipated to be one of the most significant revisions since the introduction of the 1.6-litre V6 turbocharged engines in 2014, when they were approved by the FIA World Motorsport Council in August 2022. These new regulations, which emphasize sustainable practices through higher electrical power and the incorporation of renewable fuels, aims to bring Formula One in line with the worldwide movement towards sustainability. Renowned manufacturers like Audi and Honda have agreed to take part in this transition, offering a grid with 6 engine providers including Alpine, Ferrari, Mercedes and Honda. The strategic alliance between Red Bull and Ford indicates that they intend to enter the engine production business, which might have a big effect on the dynamics of the team. Now, let's examine worries about engine regulations. However, worries have surfaced despite the excitement and creativity that the new engine regulations promise. The projected 50-50 ratio between internal combustion engines and electrical power is a major source of debate. Even though this class is environmentally responsible, there are concerns that it could harm the excitement of wheel-to-wheel racing. Red Bull's team principal Christian Horner has argued for a small recalibration to address these difficulties. Toto Wolff of Mercedes, on the other hand, is still pessimistic about the chances of new regulations at this point, considering that businesses have already invested in research and development. Now let's probe into Red Bull's special role. Red Bull is in an unheard of situation as it enters the engine manufacturing industry under the new rules. Red Bull's history is less about being an engine manufacturer than it is about being a racing team, in contrast to the traditional engine manufacturers that have vast experience. Given Ford's past record with electric vehicles in particular, the relationship with Ford is met with skepticism. Ford's failures to produce electric vehicles, which were characterized by battery fire problems and consumer unhappiness, serve as a sobering example of how difficult it can be to manage the complex requirements of the new electric Formula One component. Changing aerospace regulations, leveling the playing field. In addition to changes in engine regulations, the 2026 season is expected to see significant changes in aero regulations. These changes will force the redesign of Formula One vehicles to make room for the new engines, opening the door for change. A recurring feature in the history of Formula One is that rule revisions frequently target the team that is currently in the lead. Regulations designed to equalize the playing field and counteract one team's lengthy domination have had an effect on Williams, Ferrari, and Mercedes. This pattern makes people wonder if Red Bull's domination right now will make them the target of upcoming rule revisions. Let's uncover the practice of hunting down dominant teams. When considering situations like the rule changes that had an impact on Williams, Ferrari, and Mercedes, this viewpoint acquires support. Now, the revolution of sustainable fuel and flow rate. By requiring that all racing fuels used for the new power units come from 100% sustainable fuel, the FIA has taken a big step towards sustainability. This calculated action tries to support ecologically friendly behaviors while upholding the high-performance essence of the sport. Notably, fuel flow rate measurement and regulation will switch from mass or volume-based measures to energy-based ones, underscoring the sport's commitment to pushing limits and embracing new technological paradigms. Let's dive into changes in sports regulations. In addition to power unit modifications, the 2026 regulations brings changes to Formula One's governing body of competition. Drivers will be required to abide by regulations on important power unit parts such as internal combustion engines, turbochargers, control electronics, and energy reserves starting in 2027. Notably, the number for MG UK components will drop by 2, while the allocation for exhaust sets will go from 8 to 3. However, all drivers will receive an extra element in each component during the transitional 2026 season. In 2023, additional financial limits will take effect in an effort to encourage financial parity among power unit suppliers. For the years 2023, 2024, and 2025, according to these laws, power unit suppliers must adhere to an annual expenditure cap of $95 million. From the 2026 season forward, the cap will increase to $130 million. This action reflects the FIA's goal of creating a level playing field for manufacturers and ensuring the sport's financial viability. Coming to the intricacies of engine performance balancing complexities. The idea of engine performance balancing, a common practice in sports car racing to maintain parity among competing manufacturers, is at the center of the argument. In order to level the playing field and encourage more intense competition, balance of performance means artificially changing a number of factors, including weight, power output, or fuel consumption. Although BOP has been successful in attaining competitive balance in other motorsport categories, its possible adoption in Formula 1 raises significant concerns regarding the fundamental nature of the game. At issue is the fine line between encouraging competitive racing and maintaining Formula 1's reputation as a showcase for cutting-edge technology and engineering prowess. The head of Mercedes, Toto Wolff, emerges as a vocal opponent to the BOP's implementation in Formula 1. Wolff's worries are centered at the core character of F1 as a contest of brilliance, innovation, and toil. He argues that the meritocratic nature of the sport will be compromised by the introduction of artificial metrics to equalize performance. In order to attain competitive parity, Wolff emphasizes Formula 1 should offer a platform where teams may flourish through commitment, innovation, and the persistent pursuit of progress. Let's find a balance between catch-up and meritocracy. Let's uncover open data and just solutions. Red Bull Racing's team principal Christian Horner lends his viewpoint to the discussion. In conversations regarding performance balance, Horner stresses the vital need for transparent and accurate data, much like Wolff and Vasseur. He promotes a thorough, data-driven strategy that guarantees equity and justice between the teams. According to Horner, disclosing information about differences in engine performance would encourage fruitful discussion among interested parties and assist to informed decisions without jeopardizing the sport's credibility. Although BOP has been successful in some motorsport disciplines, there are still some risks associated with its application. The possibility of manipulation and game playing is a serious worry. Manufacturers may purposefully limit their performance during practice sessions in order to obtain favorable changes, creating an environment that is conducive to lobbying and political scheming. The Le Mans 24-hour event serves as an example of how BPO changes can cause issues and disagreements among manufacturers, affecting the integrity of competition. Let's scrutinize the effects of BOP on preserving Formula 1's unique identity. The debate over implementation of BOP brings to light a crucial issue. Could Formula 1 keep its distinctive identity while aiming for competitive parity? BOP might undermine the fundamental rules of the sport, turning Formula 1 into a show that values parity over innovation. According to critics, Formula 1's history is characterized by its unrelenting quest for greatness, improvement in technology, and engineering prowess. The big question is still whether the 2026 regulations will usher in a new era of parity, revitalizing the sport, or whether they could unintentionally upset the current balance of power. This is something that fans, experts, and teams are debating as they consider the effects of these reforms. What impact will the new engine regulations have on Red Bull's dominance in Formula 1? Share your thoughts in the comments section, and do subscribe to our channel for the latest content.